Thank you for joining us on the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector. Coming up, government reiterates its commitment to eradicate pit latrines. A tour of the Southeast Agricultural Region ends with a farmers' meeting in Grand Fort, and Angelique Kidjo to headline the annual Jazz and Creole Festival this year. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories after this.
The Ministry of Health's monthly mass aerobics is on. Dress in your exercising gear and join the Ministry of Health and Fitness Plus on Friday, March 28 from 5 p.m. on the Bayfront for 1 hour of exercising and dancercising in the fight against chronic non-communicable diseases, reduce obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes and cancer. Yes, make it a date and participate in the Ministry of Health mass aerobics session Friday, March 28 from 5 p.m. on the Roseau Bayfront. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
Thank you for staying with us. The government of Dominica is actively pursuing the latest component of its home improvement and sanitation program to eradicate pit latrines on the island. Earlier this week, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit pledged an initial $150,000 to the Atkinson Village Council to provide modern toilet facilities in that community. On Wednesday, the country's leader, during the signing ceremony of a contract to provide Grand Savan with pipe-borne water, said the War on Pit Latrines program is designed to improve the standard of living of citizens.
We continue to forge ahead with our various projects and programs, and one such project is the eradication of pit latrines. There are some who have criticized it, who have looked down on people, but our goal and objective in this government is to bring a sense of pride to our people, because those who have used pit latrines and those who have pit latrines know of the inconvenience that one experiences. That if nature calls at 10 o'clock at night and it's raining, you have to walk in the dark, in the mud, to go to your pit latrine.
The Prime Minister says this innovative project to eradicate the use of pit latrines is being supported by the United Nations. The United Nations has also launched a comprehensive program to eradicate pit latrines across the world.
The UN itself, after I made the announcement, I didn't know the UN was studying this matter, launched a comprehensive program to eradicate pit latrines or these trough systems across the world. Because the UN estimates that the presence of these pit latrines across the world is costing governments $2.24 billion every year because of diseases associated with the unhygienic use of these pit latrines. And they're trying to develop all sorts of cheaper technologies to bring about modern washrooms to people across the world. So even the United Nations is recognizing that that this is a major issue, which requires a global response. So every member of the UN has taken up a responsibility to treat with the presence of pit latrines.
In related news, the Dominica Water and Sewage Company, DOWASCO, has partnered with the government to provide free connections to the beneficiaries of new washroom facilities. Additionally, DOWASCO will grant the beneficiaries 3 months grace period for the payment of their bills. The Prime Minister commended DOWASCO for its partnership and called on other businesses to partner with the government on this project. Some of the communities which have so far benefited from the home renovation and sanitation program include Thibault, Portsmouth, St. Joseph, Castle Bruce, Collyho, Wesley, and Bagatelle. In other news, a delegation of cabinet members and the local agriculture experts traversed the Southeast Agricultural Region on Wednesday. Since the Southeast Agricultural Region spans Dalis to La Plaine to Grand Fort, parliamentary representatives for these areas, Honorable Peter Seja and Ivor Stevenson, were part of that delegation, along with the nation's Minister for Agriculture and Forestry, Honorable Matthew Walter. Beginning in Dalis, the team stopped at a selected demonstration site for composting and planting crops. Also on the agenda for Dalis were visits to the House of Hope, the Bois Bellevue Feeder Road, and the local women's group Tolomo Processing Plant. At the processing plant, the group's president, Alberta Sorrendo, gave insight into the current operations of the plant as well as the group. She revealed that although the plant is not yet fully operational, the women's group is able to purchase and package the product for sale to HHV Research and Company Limited, AC Shillingfords and Duvernay's in Portsmouth. Sorrendo also says that the Dalis Women's Group Tolomo product is poised to impact the overseas market. The product already has a steady market in Guadeloupe and Martinique, for which French labels are being prepared. Meanwhile, Sorrendo says not enough Dominicans are eating local.
Let us go back to the old age, because Toloma, to me, instead of the people buying, always buying cereal, it's best they go back. Let us go back to our roots. Let us go back to Toloma, because it is very good. First of all, the Toloma is good for diarrhea. It stops a diarrhea instantly. You have an aged person that doesn't want to take in, cannot take in hard food. This is the best thing I can recommend somebody, because even though you would give them the oats is a little bit too thick. So Toloma is a very, I don't see why the people of Dominica don't want to go back to Toloma.
Still in Dalis, Desmond James is putting his all into farming and is managing to comfortably meet his needs through root crop and vegetable cultivation as well as animal husbandry. Desmond says there are profits to be made from the land if only farmers would put their all into their work.
You can look after a family and farming. As a matter of fact, if you take farming serious, you can't go hungry.
Desmond said further that although he receives adequate support from his extension officer and the Division of Agriculture, the cost of input is not enough of a problem to hinder his work. He also had sound advice for budding farmers.
You cannot raise up a child when the child is 16. That child has to be from the womb to start to bind that child together. You understand? So we're having all kinds of seminars. The field officers just call these guys to come to learn. All they're saying, they know it already. As far as I'm concerned, there is a seminar always there. They call me for a meeting, I'm always there. So there is nowhere in this technology life we are living today, there is nowhere a man can know all. We need to know more and more. And they're advising me, they are telling me what to do, and I listen. I sell a pound of potato for $2. When you have 100 pounds of potato, it don't take you a minute to do it. So I don't see why a man have to cry and say famine is not paying. Famine has money. Famine has money. Famine is paying. See, we're looking for too much and we sell too expensive. And that is the problem. So if you have to be a good farmer, you have to be steady and know what you are doing. Is farming you're doing, you're supposed to put your 8 hours in your farming. Let me give you a little scenario. You went to the bank, you take a loan. You have to burst your body in 6 to pay it back. But you take your money from your own pocket and you do something. You're just saying it's your money. You're not going to work. You don't care. So the same way, if I have to work for government, I have to be in government work 8 o'clock. The same way I have to take my work serious, same as government work 8 o'clock.
Honorable Matthew Walter, Minister for Agriculture and Forestry, acknowledged the myriad of benefits of agriculture for Dominicans and Dominica. Among these, he made special mention of the cost of importing foreign foods.
Agriculture can reduce our food import bill. My dear friends, we import too much food from overseas in this country. We export too much of our money to other countries to purchase food. Dominica has the potential to be able to provide good food for all of us to eat here.
With that, the forum moved on to allow farmers the opportunity to share their concerns and suggestions with the team. That meeting's end marked a successful day of touring the Southeast Agricultural Region. In more news, access to potable water across the country continues to be a major preoccupation of the DLP administration. That confirmation was made by Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, during a contract signing ceremony for a $2.5 million water supply project in Grand Savannah, Salisbury earlier this week. Prime Minister Skerrit said the commissioning of this new water project is part of the government's drive to achieve the Millennium Development Goal of providing 100% of Dominica's population with access to potable water by 2015. The government of Dominica, in collaboration with DOWASCO over the past several years, has invested millions of dollars in providing water to several communities.
We've gone into communities where governments before us felt that it was making no economic sense to invest money. And DOWASCO was not able to go out there and raise the money on its own. And therefore we drew up a plan to address the water situation in Dominica. And communities which never had water, we recall communities like urban communities like Eggleston and Girodale and certain parts of Castle Comfort. Middle class housing. People had no access to pipe-borne water. When we came into office, there were several communities which still had the asbestos pipes. And I was totally taken aback when I found out even communities like Goodwill on Federation Drive had asbestos pipes in recent time. And I indicated to DOWASCO that every single community where asbestos has to be replaced immediately. And they advised us on the cost, and we have removed every single asbestos pipe in the country.
The Finance Minister also spoke of several major water projects currently being installed in various communities, including Grand Fort and Benz.
There are several other water projects that are ongoing across Dominica. Several. We have Bakers. We just completed about a year or so ago the Penville Water Project. We have in the PD7 constituency. We have in Grand Fort a major water project taking place in the community of Grand Fort. Ben's water project is ongoing. And it's important for you, the media, and you Dominicans to drive to these places to see where we have to fetch the water, the access roads that we have to construct to bring the water to your homes. And DOWASCO is making an extraordinary effort in accessing the water where they are to bring to our homes. And major roads have to be constructed. We spent hundreds and millions of dollars, on access to the water source and to construct the tanks. As you would see and you would have heard in the Salisbury Water Project, we also have had to construct access roads.
The Discover Dominica Authority CEO and Director of Tourism, Colin Piper, has announced that Angelique Kidjo will headline this year's Jazz and Creole Festival. According to a release from the DDA, Benin-born Grammy Award-winning singer and songwriter Angelique Kidjo will headline the 5th annual Jazz and Creole Festival and excite the crowd with her rich, rhythmically powerful expressions of female empowerment. The event is set to take place on Sunday, June 8th at Fort Shirley Cabarets. The UNICEF ambassador and vibrant percussionist has enjoyed a long history of crossover collaborations with greats from the jazz and pop arena, including Alicia Keys, Herbie Hancock, John Legend, and Branford Marsalis, just to name a few. Events coordinator for the Dominica Festivals Commission, Natalie Clark-Mead, noted Kidjo's passionate advocacy for a homeland of Africa, which is ever more present in her recently released album, Eve. The Director of Tourism expressed that Angelique's performance will elevate jazz and Creole and its supporting events to the level of Dominica's Carnival and World Creole Music Festival. The main stage, which runs from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m., will also feature various local and regional artists. Ticket sales for the main stage events and other specials will be announced by the DDA. Dominica's Jazz and Creole Festival, which was inaugurated in 2010, is this year presented by the government and headline partner, the DDA. GIS News will bring you more information on the upcoming festival in a subsequent newscast. The government of Dominica has been commended for its progress made thus far in its geothermal energy pursuits. Speaking at a reception on Wednesday for participants of the Caribbean Geothermal Workshop, Dr. James St. Catherine of the OECS Secretariat referred to the Dominica geothermal experience.
In terms of the work which has been done in Dominica, it is exemplary, and I want to say congratulations. But every time I say that, my friends say to me, well, Doc, what is your hidden agenda? It's a simple one. If you lead, you have to support. So as far as I know, as long as Dominica will proceed on its path of success, we will look to Dominica for support for the other countries.
Dr. St. Catherine believes that Dominica is leading the way in the transformation of the energy sector in the OECS.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you to join with me in thanking in advance the people and the government of Dominica, not only for hosting this, but for the contribution they will make to the leadership of the OECS in dealing with this problem of energy.
The government of Dominica has already invested over $30 million in its geothermal energy project.
Between 2003 and 2008, we ensured that the requisite research and studies were done in the Rosa Valley catchment area, which gave us an estimate as to the resource in that catchment area. That was followed starting in 2010 when we drilled 3 test wells that gave us an idea as to the size and quality of that resource. Just on the 1st of this month, we completed a production well. And based on our initial indications, the results appear to be better than expected.
And that's the English segment of National Focus. McPherson St. Luce brings us the Creole highlights next.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, qui a fait parole qui habilité bon management pays là, c'est raison pour qui plusieurs projets sont bâtis tout en pays là. Premier ministre Skerritt fait parole ça pendant été adressé cérémonie pour essayer contract système de l'eau Barry mercredi. Premier ministre a fait parole qu'ils a fait bon management pays là, quand reconnaissé international. Et dit pendant temps opposition qui a fait vieille parole négative contre pays là, gouvernement n'est pas parti qui a poussé devant et puis développement pays là, et puis ça c'est bonne nouvelle pour gouvernement. Projet de l'eau Barry en parmi plusieurs d'autres, c'est mandat gouvernement n'est pas parti augmenter la vie dominicaine. En la nouvelle, gouvernement dominicain a fait parole que 500 familles en Chimie pour bénéficier, c'est le système de l'eau neuf qui a battu pour résidents Gonsavan en Barry. Parole ça là sorti du ministère management de l'eau, Honorable Reginald Ostring. Plusieurs d'autres aspects qui prennent place sur le projet ça là.
Nous faisons un assessment là, nous trouvons qu'il y a 500 familles, pas 500 personnes, 500 familles qui partenaient accès pour l'eau. Et nous avons dit que nous bâtissons le système de l'eau, c'est les gens qui tapent l'eau pour la première fois. Aussi, nous avons dit que les gens qui veulent bâtir Casa sur Grande Savane, les gens qui sont Dominique, les gens qui sont l'autre pays, mais parce qu'ils paniquent l'eau, ils ne peuvent pas faire Casa là. Et nous avons cru que les l'eau qui est bâti en 6 mois, d'autres gens qui viennent faire Casa en Salisbury, et ça qui fait un gros boost en construction. Et nous avons dit que les gens qui tapent travail en construction industry, Nous avons dit que valait tout le monde qui est levé parce que il y a une valeur qui est levée. Et nous avons dit que plus de monde qui ça affaires agriculture en Grande Savane en Salisbury parce que comme ça Salisbury qui produit le watermelon, le tomato, le concombre. Et nous avons dit un glo qui est plus reliable. Nous avons dit plus de monde qui est allé à l'agriculture. Comme ça, vous avez bénéfice là même, ce n'est pas unique pour un gros pour boire, mais pour porter de l'eau là, pour faire un lot de développement pour place en Salisbury et en Dominique.
En même temps aussi, sénateur gouvernement Hot Bawe Bentley Roye fait parole pour le projet ça là, c'est bonne nouvelle pour les résidents Bawe et puis il bien plaisir qui contracté pour bâtir le projet ça là. Sénateur Roye qui a complimenté le gouvernement et puis de Wasco pour le projet ça là. Il aussi fait parole qui habitants qui bénéficient de le projet là. Sénateur Roye dit aussi que le gouvernement fait un lot en Bawe en parmi clété yo mettez en l'occasion là. Il dit bien plaisir que c'est mon salam et puis belle maison en grande savane que bien plaisir pour Nidlo à case à yo. En autre nouvelle, ministère pour service social Honorable Gloria Shillingford qui a créé assez par mois pour prendre occupation négio à yo, a une manière empêcher yo taper abaissement sexuel et d'autres abaisements. Ministre Shillingford fait parole salam pendant qu'il a adressé l'inauguration village conseil Atkinson. Honorable Shillingford dit report qui vivait en ministre là, qui a montré que l'abaissement sexuel bien haut, qui ça moun ka quoi. Il dit nous supposons tirer la main à jeunes enfants et spécialement femmes, comme si dit c'est handbag nous bagay qui protéger yo, hold c'est abaissement ça là. Il dit aussi parents supposés monitor activités des enfants à yo bien point parce ou pas jamais savent ça qui a passé et puis yo. Il y a l'autre bagaille, ministre Shillingford Palikot, c'est Yes Week programme qui a occupé moun à l'âge pays là. Ministre Shillingford dit malgré le gouvernement qui a fait ça y paye, moun communauté là même supposé assister. Finalement, Solid Waste Management Dominique qui a fait parole comme un plastique bien dangereux pour détruire un violent. Selon officier relations publiques Geno Jacob, ça fait Ola Josephine Gabriel bayo l'argent pour jouer en machine pour recycler ces plastiques là, ça même bien significant.
Il n'est pas bon pour fiches là, vous savez, là il y a la mais turtle qu'a fait il a servi à la fois, il a voyé et puis il a passé et puis il a fait il a passé et puis il a mistakenly il a point pour manger, il a point pour manger et puis ça a tout fait. Et puis nous avons dit qu'il faut nous travailler pour nous faire certain que nous tuer le plastique en Dominique, pas tuer entier, mais le plastique nous a servi. Nous en Dominique, supposé ni en l'esprit pour changer la mentalité, pour supposer garder qui supposé servir ça qui ça produit eux-mêmes, servir calbas pour acheter manger ou ça, restaurant par exemple. Gaba moins pour manger si vous menez en calbas pour calbas au cuit pour gagner manger. Ça c'est un bon butin pour nous aussi parce que qui va continuer et puis éducation et nous continuer l'éducation pour nous faire changer la mentalité à sauver les plastiques nous va servir.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson Luce. Bon week-end. Au revoir.
Coming up next, a habit that can change your life.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
Positive thinking is the keystone habit that will help you form the other important habits. Of course, positive thinking by itself will not lead to success, but it goes a long way to motivate you to do the other things required. Focus on this habit first and you'll have a much easier time with any of the others. Start by becoming more aware of your negative self-talk, and soon you'll be able to recognize and preempt them. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and your comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Friend us on our Facebook page and be sure to like our GIS Dominica fan page. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Desk, thanks for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.